All right, week 16. We had a game yesterday on Christmas, and happy holidays, everybody. And thank you for checking out this channel. Remember to follow me. My Twitter is at the Radio Mike. And make sure to like, subscribe, comments on here on YouTube. Anything you want to look at. The cover page of this video is Jalen Hurts. And I thought that was fitting. So I've had real good success in cash games. It's still early here. I need some coffee. And I think what I've really been doing, and I'm constantly learning, is as we bring this up, you don't want to look at my boring screen. And I want you to chat here to give me your advice on cash games. But what I've been trying to do, it's something that I've always believed in. I've seen this philosophy a lot. I believe in paying down on quarterbacks because of the variance. I don't think you need to pay up. I think that you're not going to have many 40-point quarterback weeks to 20. You know what I mean? Where they're all kind of the same, especially on FanDuel. Now, last week, my quarterback crushed, which I thought was obvious. And I don't know why people didn't play Jalen Hurts last week. I think maybe you were scared from the Arizona game against the Giants. But at his price, at $6,900, and he was in the winning cash game lineup, which doesn't matter, but it shows you don't need to pay up. But I was surprised how many people went to Lamar Jackson and Pat Mahomes in cash games. You don't need to. So I think, what I've been doing, and I think standard a lot. In cash games, you're not trying to win cash games. You're just trying to finish top 50. You pay down. You want the running backs, which is what I do first. I plug in my running backs. I did not like Akers at lock. I still played him, which I advise people not to do that, regardless if it's a good play. It was a good play. I mean, I understand that the Rams lost, but my thing with the Rams, there's so many mouths to feed, and I think the odds of him scoring are tougher, but I liked him at home. But I should have gotten to Tony Pollard. I don't know why. And look at the Cowboys' defense again. So what I've been doing, I always do the running backs first, and then I usually plug in my quarterback and defense, and I go around. That's usually what I do because these are tough, man. But here's what I'm trying to do more of. Play the chalk and cash games. Sometimes I get a little tricky. In the last 3-4 weeks, I'm playing the chalk. Ayuk was chalk. 81% in my cash games. That means 81 people out of 100 had him, which you know. Henry was chalk. You live and die with chalk. And if he doesn't go off, then that means at 6,900, he didn't go off in 81 other lineups. So it doesn't hurt you. I thought last week was tough. Sanders for the price. Okay. I thought Jonathan Taylor would even be better, but I'll take that. And, I think really where I won, obviously, was here. I was not cashing until the 4 o'clock games. And actually what saved me was Dallas scoring a touchdown. Look at this. 15 points in a game. They gave up 33. That's where points allowed is garbage when you're playing defenses. Who cares? Look at Miami. Miami gave up 12 points to the Patriots and had 6 more points less because they didn't get 3 sacks. But look at Dallas, 2 fumble returns, 2 interceptions, 2 sacks, and a touchdown. So in cash games, though, I usually like to play the team with the lowest implied total to be safe. This was actually, I think, I think it's a tweener. Dallas at home against San Francisco. I did not think that was a tough game for the Cowboys. A lot of people were saying that was not a good matchup for them, and I'm thinking, why? Who are the 49ers right now? They're not world beaters. So, I still like paying down. I think this week I'm going to go to Trubisky. Like home running backs is what I did here. Dobbins I didn't love again because I worry about that share. But 144 points in a cash game is good. All right, so I like that construction. Then on DraftKings, I killed it with my cash game. I went with Kamara on DraftKings, and I had Kamara yesterday, by the way, as my captain in a free showdown lineup, and I didn't cash. I just did one showdown lineup, the free one that DraftKings gave. But, for DraftKings, I felt the process was easier constructing my lineup for cash games because Henry was no doubter. Kamara, look at this. In a 100-person 50-50, he was 90% owned. And I knew that. I knew that he was going to be highly owned, so I just played chalk here. Look at Kamara, Henry, Sanders, Ayuk, Seattle, somewhat chalky. Fournette, 5,100. Or no, 4,500. Smashed. And then I thought Irv Smith would be more chalkier than he was. He was not. He scored twice yesterday in that Saints game. And then Hilton, kind of fit. I went for a little bit of an upside play there, and then Hurts was my lock. I'm surprised at where he was. I don't understand this at all. I don't, maybe people who are watching it, I have no idea at this price why people were scared off. Who cares about what kind of quarterback he is or whatever you think he is? At 5,900, coming off the game against New Orleans, a good defense. At 23 points, we didn't even need this to get the value. You're looking for about 3 times value in cash games. So I was looking at if he had between 17 to 20 points, I was going to be fine. And I could not believe. I thought this was the easiest play, and I had it in my article here. This is this week's, but in my last week article, I don't need to prove to you guys. You guys can go on here at 14personnel.com and check it out. I thought this was the easiest play of the week, Jalen Hurts. And I said Jalen Hurts would win you tournaments, and he did. He was in the winning lineup for a lot of GPPs. I don't get, who people played. Well, I guess like all the top plays. Yeah, Kyler Murray at 7,000, but still, the price difference looks like a lot of Hurts in the upper. If we go down here, Lamar Jackson at 7,500, cash game, $1,600 difference. The people didn't even cash, played Lamar. There's gonna be a lot of Lamar Mahomes in these. Well, here's a Jalen Hurts. But I just think for that price, with when you get a running quarterback at that price, it's a slam dunk. All right, so a little bit for today. I'll probably I'm kind of scaling back what I'm playing for the rest of the year, and then next year I think I'll ramp it up a little bit more. I've been playing a lot of NBA right now, but 3 games. I don't usually do cash games with small slates. I like these tier games. Let's just take a look at a tier. Yeah, so you pick, as you guys know how to do this. I don't know the correct strategy. I see different things. I think who do you think is going to be the best in this tier? If you had this tier, who would be the best? And tier 6, it goes down by performance. I don't know. That's a tough one. Maybe Breida. Not really in a passing game. So, these are tough. But I like to play GPPs because in cash games for smaller slates, you have a lot more duplicate lineups. So I think it's harder to cash. I might play one of these. Single entries all I do. I'm not going to do any. I might just play dollar. And I don't get too nuts in these. I think you have to. I think where you probably win these is playing a receiver that goes off that's underowned. Interesting, though. I think you could make a case for every quarterback on this slate. You really could. I think Tampa Bay will do well. I think Brady will do well against that Detroit Lions defense. But then, Derek Carr at 5,100. These guys. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what we do. Here, if you go to 14personnel.com, I write articles for them now. They're terrific. And I do my buy low candidates of Week 16. It's kind of a combination of price, maybe guys that are not looked upon as highly owned. So it's a little bit of both. It's kind of cash game locks, pricing, indiscrepancy, so to speak. So I kind of, you know what I mean? I look at maybe guys will be someone that doesn't look at. And I think right here, Drew Lock is my first one for week 16. 5,000 on DraftKings. Now, the pricing is down because he was terrible in the last game, but who cares? Who cares about that? Playing the Chargers. They're not world beaters. He threw 3 touchdowns against them last time, and he's $5,000. Denver, as I say in the article, an implied total of 23. I think you take some shots in tournaments. Is this a cash game play? I don't know. I think if you play him, you maybe play him in only lineups with other Broncos. But I do think that game could be in the Millie Maker lineups, the Denver-San Diego game, because both teams are railing. Both are not great on defense. I think Denver maybe still has that mystique that they're a good defensive team. I don't think they are. So I love this price, and I might go there in cash games at 5,000. I really might. So I don't hate it. I want to see what other value opens up. But then again, Trubisky. This is an interesting situation because it's a great price with some risk because Jacksonville's so bad on the run. Now, that favors Trubisky, but it also faces David Montgomery. This could be a very interesting stack of Trubisky and Montgomery. You usually don't do that, quarterback, running back. But this could be a game like yesterday where Drew Brees throws for 300 yards, they score 52 points, and he throws no touchdowns. It's all sucked up on the ground. Jacksonville's that bad. So I don't do that in cash games. I don't stack, but I think in a tournament, a Trubisky-Montgomery stack is interesting. It's going to be different. But again, I love the prices on these guys for their implied totals. The Bears have a 27-point implied total. That's the kind of statistics and math I look at. Trubisky's been playing up, but the price to the implied total, same here, 5,000 on DraftKings to 23 points. You figure Drew Lock's got to be involved somehow. Trubisky's got to be somehow. So these are my favorite quarterbacks, I think. Others to consider here, Russell Wilson against the Rams because Wilson's been a little bit down. I think he could win tournaments. Phillip Rivers every week. Mr. Consistent. Running backs. I love the pricing I put here. I love having the prices for both sites on these articles because if you look at FanDuel's pricing to DraftKings, we see who loves Dobbins. And it's DraftKings. I think the big reason why FanDuel, with the half-point PPR, he's not involved a lot in the passing game. So that's why in DraftKings, he's where he is. FanDuel, he's a bargain. The Giants this week, who have allowed over 100 yards. Dobbins to me is a GPP play. Le'Veon Bell. If we know that Hilaire's out, this is a great spot for Bell. Probably GPP. I might play him in cash games because of the price, but again, buyer beware. We know how the touchdowns get spread around a lot. It is the Falcons, but he's involved in the passing game. 5,800 for a starting running back. It's not bad. Eckler against, the Raiders are terrible, as we know. All right, so Eckler I like. Denver. And then Pollard if Elliott sits. Receivers, Robbie Anderson, I like this week. I put in this article if McCaffrey's back, this is an interesting play here because I just think he's been pretty consistent in cash games, getting a lot of targets. Kupp, Goff, Woods, Kupp stack against with Metcalf. I think that could be pretty good. Running it back. And then on the tight ends, Logan Thomas, to me, has been, he's priced up a bit on FanDuel, but $4,900 for a guy at 15 targets last week. This guy has been so underrated. So underrated to me. I'm either going down or up on tight ends. Hooper, again, I'm picking on the Jets. because they give up a lot. In last week's article, I had Higbee, he scored, and then the others to consider, I've got Ingram and Rob Gronkowski. Make sure to follow me on Twitter, @TheRadioMike. Good luck in all of your games that you're playing. I love NBA, too, and I want to endorse one site that and I'm going to bring it up here, that I subscribe to, DFS Army. I love these guys. And here's some great things that they do. You go into NFL, go to cheat sheets that they have. They give you who they like, confidence ratings, and these guys are great, and they've really helped me win some money. This is what I love. The NFL Chalkboard tells you who the chalky plays are, projected ownership. I think you need to get on this site and play it now. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day. Merry Christmas still. Can't wait for the new year.